Greetings, trikers, bikers, cagers, and dreamers. You have to have a dream. Today I'm riding with Brer Dan up on Clinch Mountain in Tennessee, and it's a beautiful place to be, and we have a great day for riding. 60 degrees or so. Well, at least it was down in the valley, but unfortunately when we got up into the mountains it dropped about 4 degrees, and suddenly my jacket was not quite warm enough. We stopped at a restaurant called Clinch Mountain Lookout Restaurant, and if you were ever to review that restaurant, you'd find that some people found it to be very nice and some people not so much. I think I would be in the latter category. This was on a Sunday ride, and we were the first people to show up at the restaurant. Later, another group came in, of 2 ladies and a gentleman, for their, I presume, after church lunch. And they seemed to know each other and to know the owner. Well, Brer Dan decided to order breakfast, and he got his sunny side ups, and they looked to me like they were not quite cooked. And I ordered a hamburger and onion rings. The hamburger didn't come with anything, and the onion rings were about a $2 upcharge. Well, about this. The hamburger, the meat really was not very good. The way the hamburger was dressed, it looked great, tasted okay, but not what I would have chosen for myself. I probably would have ordered something else if I had known the way it was going to turn out. It appeared as though the cook was about a 14-ish kid that, well, first of all, didn't seem to have any social skills, and I would think that his cooking skills were not very good either. But anyway, we enjoyed ourselves, we were together, we were on a great ride. But with that temperature drop we experienced going up the mountain, I shivered for about 15 or 20 minutes after we stopped. And silly me, I drank an ice cold Coke, which probably would have been not the best choice. Probably should have had a cup of hot coffee instead. But, well, Coke and hamburger seems to go together, and it did taste good, but and was a nice sized drink. Which leads me into the whole category of hamburgers. It's kind of like an American tradition, like hot dogs and other things that are similar. Hamburgers can be really wonderful if the meat is good and they're properly cooked and they're dressed properly and you have the right side. The onion rings that came with my hamburger seemed to me as though, well, the oil probably needed to be changed. It wasn't really fresh enough. I know it's very hot and the hot oil kills the germs, but you know when the oil is too old, it has a certain taste which is not quite right. There's a new hamburger place in Lenoir City, Tennessee, which is near where I live, and people are lining up to get there. Maybe it's a new fad, I don't know, but they've taken an old Mexican restaurant and turned it into a hamburger joint, and they built on an outdoor porch where they have a place to cook and a place to sit, and gobbled up a considerable amount of the parking space, which makes it difficult when they have a full house, finding a place to park without having to park and walk a bit. Not a terrible thing, but questions the planning of this enterprise. We wonder how long it'll be before everybody's had a taste of the new place and we'll move on to something else. We had a Five Guys restaurant in Lenoir City, and that seemed to be quite popular for a while. The burgers and the dogs were good, and the hamburgers were, oh man, if you ordered fries with your hamburger, you'd get enough to feed about 4 people unless you got a huge appetite. And we enjoyed the place, but it went out of business. Don't know why. Maybe the new place in town went through let's see how they are, and then people moved on to something else. I was riding with a friend recently, and we talked about that new hamburger restaurant, and he had tried it and he said it was good but expensive. And as we passed by, of all things, McDonald's, he said, there's a place to go and get a hamburger. Well, that particular McDonald's has a certain history with me, because a friend of mine went there once and vowed she'd never go again because there was some old dude in bib overalls who apparently wasn't controlling his bowels very well, and apparently there were turds rolling down his pant leg and hitting the floor. So she said she would never go there again. Now granted, you can't really judge a place by one crazy incident like that, but it certainly makes you wonder about the quality of the people that go there. Anyway, favorite hamburgers. We all have our own favorites. The ones we make at home, of course, are probably the best because we can make them just the way we like them, cook them just the right amount of time, and enjoy them. I do wonder sometimes, though, about the Mexican restaurant that was taken over by the new hamburger place. They never seemed to have a lot of business. Their food was good, the beer was bountiful, but other Mexican restaurants came in, I think, and took away their business. Plus, the place, I think, changed hands a couple of times, so questions can certainly be raised about the quality of the management. Very important. Restauranting is a tough, very competitive business, and it's kind of hard to make it. Individual restaurants without the backing of a franchise chain, I'm sure, is even more difficult, trying to get established and to have a clientele that will support you on an ongoing basis. But anyway, enough about restaurants. This is a great drive. As you can see, the trees now are very green, looks great, and it's a beautiful day for a ride. I'm sure enjoying my time with Brer Dan, and we've not had the best of luck picking restaurants over the course of our rides together. We went to a hot dog place once in Tellico Plains, and it didn't quite measure up to our expectations. But they certainly seem to be having a lot of business, so I think people were just going there because of the location and because they were hungry, which is good enough for most people, I suppose. Nice rolling hills, country road. Not a very technical road, this one, but good for making some miles as we head back towards Knoxville. I really like riding with Brer Dan. As I mentioned in the previous video, he's going away to Vermont. He's already gone now. But he did say he'd be back at the end of May, so maybe we can squeeze another ride in. Apparently, he's all hepped on Tennessee Route 66. And he said that that's a good biker road. That's good enough for me. Any road that's got twists and turns and good scenery, what more could you ask for a great day out? This is going to be a busy month. We're going to Nashville to celebrate my granddaughter's first birthday, and there's going to be other family members present also. This is kind of a big event. And we'll get home just soon enough to repack for another trip, where my sweet bride and I are headed up to Pennsylvania for a gathering of the Speedster owners. This is something that was formed back in 2004 and has been a great source of pleasure for me over the years. I've been 10 times. This will be my 11th trip. Unfortunately, this will be the first time I'm going without my 1957 Porsche Cabriolet replica. But the real motivation for going is for being back with the family that has been part of my life for over many years, and it's always a pleasure to be with them. I moved on from that after owning my little car for 12 years and something like 42,000 miles as I sold the car to a gentleman in California. I'm sure he's enjoying it every bit as much as I did. And I hope that you're having great times with your favorite hobby or sport or whatever it is that gets you up in the morning and makes for a wonderful day. In the meantime, I'd like to say thanks for watching. I appreciate those who subscribe and comment. And for those of you who ride or will ride, remember to keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down. Speedster Johnny, out.